meet with the magistrate. He had an indoor meeting with the magistrate,
Yes.
away from cameras, away
Yes,
from lawyers,
yes,
away
yes.
from opposition, the defense. He was just with the magistrate for close to 3 hours. And then after that, but that one doesn't hold much weight. It is just, it's out of the judiciary protocol. You just have that talk. So today he appeared again this morning, and this time he appeared was to be charged, and he has been charged with murder, contrary to Penal Code 188 and 189. Murder. Yes. So he has been charged with murder, and according to the prosecution, they say he had malice, aforethought, that he intended, his killing was intentional. It was not that he killed by mistake or anything of that sort.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what happens after that now?
What happens after that is Rashida Naka is in court. She's the last time I spoke to her, she said they have not yet remanded him, but I think we expect him to be remanded to Luzira, probably. Yeah.
And of course, we'll keep you posted. Galaxy FM. From him, what else do we have happening?
Well, away from that, let's still talking about Ivan Wabwire. Yesterday there was a debate in Parliament, and the Speaker ordered today to have certain reports tabled to the House, like from Ministry of Internal Affairs, on the police sacco. The reason why Ivan Wabwire killed this guy was because he was servicing 2 loans, and he faulted on the second loan. He went and borrowed the first loan, 1 million, and that he was paying with his salary. The second loan he borrowed was 1 million again, but he never paid it since 2020. So one of the reasons why he shot, actually the main reason he shot this guy, was because they failed to agree on the amount of interest that had accumulated on the loan he had acquired. So he shot the Indian National. Now, the Speaker of Parliament in the House yesterday said we need to get a report on how far the investigations into the police sacco have gone, because they have a police sacco, savings and credit sacco, called Exodus, that is meant to service police officers. That's where they're supposed to borrow. So the Speaker is saying this would have been avoided if this man had got loans from the police sacco, but there is a lot of corruption in it.
And maybe we need to hear from government what they have done, because there was a report laid on this table. We need to regulate the exorbitant interest rates. And you cannot regulate if you're using your own circle, because you find these money sharks are giving money at a very high interest rate. And we talked about the Salary Review Commission. Can we have an update?
I remember there was a time we had an investigation on the sacco for the police. We know there is a lot of mess in that sacco. I don't know how far we went in terms of that sacco being streamlined. Ordinarily, the police should be served by that sacco if we expect our officers to perform their functions well.
I'm one of the clients of those people. And when the death occurred, I tried to call some of my friends if I never knew that gentleman very well. But Madam Speaker, with your indulgence, we pray that the Minister of Internal Affairs comes here and gives us a comprehensive statement on what exactly.
Away from that,
now, the Ministry of Health is saying that they are only going to deploy doctors once the Ministry of Finance is ready to release funds, or has given them a go-ahead that, you know what, funds are now available. Anti-medical interns, never senior house officers, went on strike earlier than the medical officers special grade. They were the first to go on strike, and the reason was they were demanding areas, one. Then that is aside. But this one I'm talking about is the pre-medical interns. Internship, the 1-year practice.
Yes.
There are about 2,000 who are sitting at home waiting for government to deploy them in hospitals. Government delayed to deploy them since 1st of April, by the way. And the reason was money was not available. So Diana Twine, the PS for Ministry of Health, says that the president directed that interns are deployed. True, we agreed, but the money is not yet there. The Ministry of Finance is not supposed to tell us when the money is available, and that's when we shall deploy them. And she also talks about the numbers in being passed for internship. She says they need to streamline them. They're going to talk with Ministry of Education to see, because if you have 4,000 interns passing out in a particular year, how will the government pay each of them 2.5 million?
So they want the country to have less doctors.
2.5 million is the amount for each intern who is practicing. So the government must avail those funds.
Exactly. The question is, do we need them or we don't need them?
the president has been clear on saying scientists are important. They are importanter than the arts.
Our interest is to see these young people deployed and they train and they finish and go and make a living and also grow in their profession. Only one hindrance was standing in the way: availability of funds. Because every month we are supposed to pay for the time they spend, but also just not really, it's not a salary, it's just allowance for their living, like buying food, rent, because we don't have enough houses. Cap numbers, the numbers that we can easily deploy effectively, pay them, but also train properly. Because when they are overcrowding in some of these facilities, they don't learn better. So we need to have numbers that we can effectively train and also pay and support, really. Yeah. So I hope it will be done.
Teri chirumanga abana bafosomera na tene bane bafuluma ne bagenda ne bakolera ewala because things here are not clear, are not okay. The rate of brain drain is high. We need to maintain it. So I think something has to be done. Anyway, this issue with doctors needs to be closed once and for all, in my opinion. I've said this over and over again. We cannot keep dragging it.
Yes.
Like chituse ne chitulakira chitandisa okutusemba.
No, but I think the ministry is making strides on it. The Ministry of Health, like you've seen, she's saying the money issue is the problem. But I think the government did foresee that encouraging people to join sciences, it's a good thing. But then you're going to have many numbers, and you must cater for them. Like, for instance, the interns, we really need them.
Definitely.
And we need the doctors after their practice. So it's important.
Ngatumaliriza what one with the Masaka Road. How are we doing with River Katonga? I'm told Sembabuli is also not doing okay. Kwegamba, we could be here, and the western region is easily cut off if we are not serious.
No, right now the Ministry of Works has introduced water transport. Actually, there's water transport of traveling from I think to Masaka and back. Yes, there's a boat that is there. It carries about 350 passengers, 150 passengers around there, and then it also carries light goods. Then for the construction works, UNRWA has said that in the next 3 weeks they are working already on the bridge, the Katonga Bridge, and they're saying they hopefully expect the works to be complete within the next 3 weeks. But in the meantime, people should be using those alternative routes. Police released a statement yesterday on the alternative Sembabule MPG route, and they were telling drivers, motorists, they didn't mention anything about the road being in harm's way, but they said motorists should be very careful because that is a place where there are trading centers, so they should be careful.
There are very many corners, you can easily get lost, there are very many roundabouts.
So there's a lot of traffic, so they're saying there are probably there could be crime on that road. Yes, there could be crime.
Yes.
Then people must be careful on how they are driving. They must be considerate for shops and people who are trading around.
Can you imagine the amount of losses being made at Lukaya now?
There's a lot of losses. Even
Lukaya,
shops,
I don't know.
I mean, seasonal markets have also been closed.
Yes.
Those people who make their money through those.
Yes.
So people are making losses. They're counting losses.
Teri chirumanga kubanga ogenda Masaka. Bambarana notalya ku nkoko y'erukaya. Chirumira ddala nno naye. Easy. He sounds of Emily Sandy. The name of the song is Brighter Days. Pam, before I let you go, do you believe it is possible to have like a boyfriend?
Yeah? To have a boyfriend?
Nzija.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering, is it possible?
Pole, yeah?
Okay.
So if you do have like a man, let's say I'm your boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I have some habits that I do. Let's say I smoke. I drink. I'm a party animal.
Yeah.
I'm a cheat. Or I'm a con man. You saw the story we had here yesterday of somebody who dated a thief.
Hey.
Do you believe that if you are in a relationship with somebody, you can change them?
Old habits die hard. But I think that love can make someone change. Not you changing someone, by the way.
But they change willingly out of love.
Yes. If you show a man love, or if a man has fallen in love with you, there are some habits that he's going to drop just for me. They drop them automatically, or you have to influence them to drop them? Of course you must influence them somehow. Because if a man, if for instance is smoking and I'm not cool with it, I have to tell him over and over again, I'm not fine with you smoking. Stop smoking. Stop smoking. So if I believe that he's not going to change because I have said stop smoking, but he's going to change because he feels like it's okay for him.
So let's say I'm not okay with your dress code. You put on busomina and I'm like, naye honey, chusa munyambala yo. Will you change?
Yeah. No, I will not change.
We're going to talk about that in the red seat. I'll be joined by Pam. I'm bringing her back. I'll be having Detach and Roger Otis. Emily Sunday, Brighter Days.
The tears are falling. Every